Welcome back to Star Trek Online, everybody. I'm your host, the Housecoat Gamer. Today we are taking a look at an iconic vessel that just refuses to go away. And we don't want her to.
No, we do not. Hey, hello, everyone. I am Takeshi Yamato, and I am joining Ron. Yes.
And we're looking at the Galaxy. A relative of yesterday's vessel. In fact, is so much of a relative, you could say it's the descendant, thanks to the registry codes.
Yeah.
Then again, the Galaxy development program was big, extensive, and would have changed the face of Starfleet for decades. The Freedom class, the Springfield class, the New Orleans class. We'll get to that one later.
Yes.
The Cheyenne, which we saw a couple of days ago. This thing was going to be the new face of Starfleet. The new face of optimism, of a golden age of exploration, and... what the hell's that? It's big. 3 by 3... It's a giant cube. Uh-oh.
Yeah. The Borg screwed everything up.
I mean, credit where it's due, Q kind of saved everybody's asses there.
Yeah, because he gave us something of a heads up. But
the Galaxy had to be turned into a warship, thanks to that.
yeah.
So much for optimism.
Yeah. And the Dominion War didn't help much either.
The Dominion never helps. Anyway, this is the normal version of the ship. The Galaxy. As you can tell, Tier 4 sucks. But what else is new? If it's not Tier 5 or Tier 6...
Yeah, it comes with a few extra variants.
Including a Tier 4 only model, which doesn't have saucer separation.
Yeah.
I'm going to admit, I'm not a fan of the Celestial. I would like it to undergo a bit of a cryptic treatment, as it were, to make it so.
Yeah, I mean...
I'm going to be making Picard references, aren't I?
Yeah.
You didn't notice that one, did you?
No.
Just the make it so.
Yeah. But, yeah, this was one of the original variants. The Celestial was. And now we have the Venture. This is the Tier 4 Refit design. This was a C-Store variant released after this game, after Star Trek Online went free to play. And it works.
I'm not exactly a fan of some of the design elements, but it's a hell of a lot better than the Andromeda. It also comes with the antimatter spread console.
Yeah, which is sort of iconic. I mean, we saw what the Enterprise did when they had to get Locutus back from the Borg cube in Best of Both Worlds.
And this is a stockier, more reinforced version of the Galaxy. Not a fan of that deflector dish, but you'll notice that I'm not a fan of most Tier 6 skins.
Yeah, and this is sort of a Tier 6 skin. Sort of.
Then we move on to the more meaty ship.
Yes, the Tier 5 Exploration Cruiser Retrofit.
Which includes saucer separation. This is very much a science ship. Well, more scientifically biased. After all, 2 tactical consoles.
Yeah, 3 science. And technically it's very engineering focused with its BOF layout. Commander, Lieutenant Commander, Ensign, and only a lieutenant in science and tactical.
Could be worse. Could be the Excelsior.
Yeah. Yeah, this thing this thing was this thing has a very engineering focus. It more it has a secondary science focus with the consoles, but its main focus is engineering.
It's not exactly the most maneuverable ship in the world, but it doesn't need to be. That's not its job. It is designed to tank.
Yeah, it is designed to sit there, soak up damage, heal the damage it takes, and basically draw aggro so that other ships can go in and do the damage that is needed.
Like everyone's favorite overgunned go-kart. But we're not going to be talking about that today, are we?
No. Now we get to the fleet variants.
If it'll let me get to the fleet variant without trouble. This is why I don't do scripts, people. It always goes wrong.
Yeah. Okay. The fleet variant adds an extra engineering console. Again, engineering focus. But, yeah, it's still the same thing. Oh, I think there's a new unique variant, the Monarch or something.
Yes, there is. Which is where the other Nebula subtype comes from.
Yeah. This thing was sort of designed for saucer separation.
I'd like to know who was responsible for putting in those cutouts.
Yeah.
I mean, you can.
They don't look at. Yeah.
You can say those.
Yeah.
That just complicates production. Not to mention.
Yeah.
Other issues.
Yeah.
And these things used to be rather popular, at least until Delta Rising hit.
Yeah. What are some of the other skins that this thing has?
Without going into the Tier 6 stuff?
Yeah.
Well, it obviously has the Galaxy.
Yeah.
The unique model.
Yeah. There's Monarch, Venture.
I think that's it. Everything else is Tier 4.
Yeah.
Which brings us over to the final one.
Yeah.
The only tier that matters.
Yeah, Tier 6 in the Andromeda.
As you might have noticed with Nebula, I have problems.
Yeah, those pylons are definitely ultra thin, which definitely is an issue. I mean, you could say that 25th century tech has advanced such that that's not much of an issue, but
doesn't instill confidence.
Yeah. However, the rest of the design, I do kind of like. The nacelles make me blocky, but they do work, and it has a nice sleek appearance.
This ship has also undergone a bit of a reskinning recently, but we'll get into that when we get a little down the line.
Yeah. And this one has four engine. This one has an Ensign Universal slot and a Commander Engineering, a Lieutenant Commander Tactical, and I think the command slot is the Engineering Command slot is the Lieutenant. Oh no, that's another Lieutenant Commander. Nice. And a Lieutenant Science. So this thing does have a little more of a tactical focus.
At long last.
Yep. Now we get to the fleet variants.
Which we get to immediately.
Yeah. Also, you notice that this variant has some extra things on the nacelles. That comes a bit from the Dreadnought cruiser, but we'll get to that later.
We won't be getting to that variant today. That is very much a different beast. I fully admit it.
Yeah.
However, while they did come from the Galaxy Dreadnought, they were also featured in DS9, particularly during Way of the Warrior with USS Venture.
Yeah.
There were reasons for this. Notably damage to the Galaxy shooting model. Thanks to a certain incident, you might have remembered me speaking about that in regards to the Excelsior and how the cheek chines were stuck on there and they couldn't remove them without damaging the model. Basically the same thing for the phaser strips. They noticed that they couldn't just remove them without completely destroying it, and they only noticed that after they actually removed the damn things, so they had to glue them back on, and all they did was rotate them 180 degrees.
Yeah.
Little bit of modeling putty to hide their crimes.
Yeah. But, yeah. That's the Galaxy.
Not entirely.
Yeah. Oh. We're actually getting to that.
Indeed we are.
Oh, yeah.
You keep forgetting this exists because you don't have it yet. We're working on that, trust me.
Yeah.
The
legendary.
When the legendaries were announced, my thoughts on the Ross, this skin, were who decided to introduce a little bit of breeding towards a sovereign and a galaxy? It's disgusting. However, the legendary version is essentially a fleet galaxy with full command traits. This has command powers.
Nice. And it looks like the Lieutenant's slot.
This also comes with every console for the Galaxy set, which improves maneuverability, durability. The molecular cohesion nullifier also makes your enemies weaker. So much weaker.
Yeah. If I were to get one of these, when I get the legendary bundle, if I were to pick a legendary galaxy up,
you will be getting it. It's a 10-ship bundle, Take.
Yeah. But I mean, like, if I pick it up for my character, I would basically just go charge straight into the middle of an enemy formation, let loose an antimatter spread, let loose the molecular cohesion nullifier, and just let the weakened enemies shoot each other to death.
Well, you give them a little bit of help. A little bit of help.
Yeah. Yeah. I would then proceed to pop evasive maneuvers and do my best to get the heck out of Dodge as soon as the nullifier faded. Because
this is also not the final galaxy. Despite the fact that legendaries are supposed to get you every skin, thanks to certain events, this is no longer the final galaxy.
Nope. That falls to the Cygnus.
Which I believe is a mistake.
Yeah, they modified it from the Galaxy. They modified it from the Andromeda model, and they applied Terran livery to it.
That's not the problem.
And they made it a Battlecruiser.
This thing is not a Turner. Trust me, I've actually tried this thing out in combat. The turn rate sucks.
Yeah.
Now, the skin I don't have much of a problem with. I love my Terran skins.
Yeah.
Case in point. I've been clamoring for this particular skin since the legendary Galaxy Dreadnought was introduced.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a very simple skin to make. Instead, we had to wait for it.
Yeah. I mean, I could sort of see why they didn't do. I can sort of see why they didn't, because the mirror galaxy was, well, we'll get to that another day.
Yes, we will. It's also essentially the same as the Legendary, with two major differences. One, it's no longer a 4x4 cruiser. It now has 5 forward weapon slots and 3 aft, as well as the ability to mount dual cannons. This is also a temporal ship, which means the molecular cohesion nullifier, or rather the disassembly thing. It's a temporal ship.
Yeah, it's a temporal ship with temporal gimmicks.
It also comes with the console, which sends people to the mirror universe. Sadly, this is not part of the Galaxy set, but you can still put the Galaxy set on this thing. I've checked.
Yeah.
I am still not happy with the fact that we had to wait for this particular skin. That said, between the 3 Ultimate Galaxies, which one is the best? I'm gonna have to go with the Legendary.
Yeah, the Legendary has just about everything going for it. It's got all the consoles. It's a full command ship with full command abilities. And it is the perfect example of why the Galaxy class was so iconic and lasted as long as it has.
That said, this isn't a bad ship, but I'll stick to the Legendary. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about Take's favorite ship. You will not see me making any compliments towards that one. Housecoat Gaming, signing off.